In the past few months, a couple of estates have launched a couple of bungalows in Ekpe. Dukia Evermark launched the Okiaro, where they have one-bed bungalows, and at some point too, Lagos also launched some houses and some bungalows in the same also. And Futizu also launched or have bungalows selling at Oasis Garden, Oasis Courts, 2-bed, 3-bed at Poka in Ekpe. Then Keshab also launched some bungalows in their property in Ilara, Ikievon Phase 1. And then also SciTech also launched some bungalows around Ideal Gardens 3. So there are still more that will be coming, and I feel like it's high time I try to advise my investors about bungalows in Ekpe, the pros and the cons. So in case you are coming across a video like this for the first time, please meet the Property Guy Property channel, and this will discuss everything real estate for first-time investors, avid investors. We share tips, guides, and advice on everything you need to know, basically, return on investments, property titles, property documents, real estate companies, which companies should you deal with, which companies should you not deal with, what are the clauses that they put in their contracts, and the different frauds and scams that you should know about investing in real estate so that you can know how to avoid them. So after watching this particular video, I also advise that you also go to our different playlists on Ekpe, playlists on shortlets, playlists on property titles, playlists on real estate companies, so that you know the kind of company that you are dealing with. So we have different topics, different episodes that we have covered under this playlist. You are definitely going to learn a lot from it. So let's go into the topic: bungalows for sale in Ekpe, the pros and the cons. So before we go into the topic, if you have not subscribed, if you have been watching our videos, you've been learning from our guys, and you have not yet subscribed, I really want you to subscribe. That's one of the things that you can do for me. That's one of the things you can appreciate our works. That's one of the ways that you can also encourage us to do more and share more guys with you. So kindly do subscribe to our videos, kindly turn on your notification button, so that whenever we drop these topics, these bangers, you get notified and you don't miss any of them. Alright, so let's go into the topic about the bungalows available in Ekpe. So we have bungalows in Dukia, Africa, around Shala. We have bungalows in Poka, that's Oasis Court. We have bungalows around Ilara, that's at Ideal Gardens 3 and Kievon. I think one company is also building bungalows for 1-bed around the Noforija axis, which is around the Lagos University of Education 2 for students. So that as time goes on to the Light City bungalows in K2 Ekpe is also another one. So as time goes on to, a lot of more companies will also be launching houses, will also be launching bungalows in Ekpe. So we are going to start with the pros, the advantages of investing in any of these bungalows in Ekpe. Now the first thing is these bungalows are affordable. One of the most affordable places in Lagos right now where you can buy a house, buy a bungalow is Ekpe. And the more you are waiting to buy, the higher the price will be going. Oasis Courts as at 2020 was, I think, 9 million, now 9.5 million for a 2-bed. That same 2-bed is 20 million. As at like 4-6 months ago, the Light City bungalows was like 8.5 million. I don't even know their current price. Maybe it's 12 million or is even 11 million. So these bungalows are affordable. The entry prices are always very, very low. And the more the companies are building, the more the companies are developing, the more they'll be increasing these prices. So if you want something affordable, you want to enter a location that is still at the entry price for houses, then Ekpe is your best bet. Second reason why is a big advantage for you to buy bungalows in Ekpe right now is bungalows are getting scarce. They are getting scarce. Ikatevi, nobody will build a bungalow when land is 120 million. Why you build a bungalow? It's a waste. Ikeja, nobody will build a bungalow when land is 150 million, 200 million. It's a waste. Surulere, nobody will build a bungalow when land is like 70 million, 80 million. It's a waste. Ogombo, down to Songotedo, down to Abijo, down to even Eleko, nobody will build a bungalow when land is like 35 million, 18 million. It's a waste. So the place where people can still build bungalow right now, where land is still affordable, 2 million, 3 million, 1 million for land, and they build a bungalow on it, is Ekpe. And bungalow is still the ideal family home because you have your compound, you have your space, you can put gates. If you buy a block of flats, it's like 6, 8 in a flat, you don't have your own private space. You just take the elevator and straight into your room. And then the highest thing you have is your veranda, the balcony. And some of them, the balcony is not big. So the bungalow is still the ideal family home. Your kids can play around in the backyard. Your parents or your aged relative can be around the veranda resting and relaxing. So you can even have a small green area or green space around your backyard or around your front yard too. That's what a bungalow will afford. So if you are tired of block of flats, you have been staying in block of flats your entire life, sharply go to Ekpe now and buy a bungalow down, now that it's still affordable. Because the more you wait, the higher those prices will be going. So you can buy those bungalows, you can hold those bungalows, and you can add those bungalows. 3, 4, 5 units, you hold it, you add it, because it's going to get scarce. All these places around the Tuno City, all these places around Fairmont, Green and Smart City, whether it's 20 million, now it's 16 million, nobody will build a bungalow there. Nobody will build a bungalow there. So for a lot of people that will need bungalows in the future, they will have to go into Ekpe town. So you are buying those bungalows now to position for the people that are still coming. So another reason, another advantage for investing in bungalows in Ekpe right now is the fast rate of appreciation. I've mentioned this before, where that's about the affordability. So these properties are going to go up as fast as you can imagine. And the fact that a lot of the estates before the Ekpe bridge, most people are not going to be building bungalows there. People will be building duplex. When people are buying land for 20 million, for 15 million, they're not going to build bungalow. Block of flats too. That's what people are going to be building. So for a lot of people that will be coming to the axis in 6 years, in 5 years time, and then something close to the airport, where they can have their own compound, their own family space, it's bungalows they will be looking for. And it's inside the Ekpe town they will be going. So that's why you also want to position yourself there and buy it. So the fast rate of appreciation is also there because it will be scarce. The more scarce the property is, the higher the appreciation. So there's only 20 bungalows and there's like 2,000 demand. Price skyrockets basically. So but you need to understand that you have to also hold these bungalows as long as possible. And one of the number one disadvantage, the cons of buying a bungalow in Ekpe right now is that the rental value and rental demand is very low right now. Very low. Very low. So you are buying the house for 20 million, for whatever million that you are buying the house. Just know that the rental value that you are collecting right now will not make sense. Just have it in mind. But the fact that the rental value does not make sense doesn't mean that you shouldn't invest, because it's just a blip. Once the properties pass through the incubation period and enter the appreciation period, forget it. The rent that you are collecting maybe 600k or 500k right now, within 2 years can go to 1.5 million. Within 4 years or 5 years, within 4 years or 5 years can go to 2.5 million. So that's how fast it's going to rise. But have it in mind already that right now the rental value and rental demand doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. I try to be as plain, blunt and transparent as possible. A lot of you guys don't like it, but that's the truth. The rental value, the rental demand right now, if you buy it, won't make sense. So you first need to just collect those small rent first. Pending when the boom comes, the airport starts, or the work on the airport starts and demand start going to that location, then it's going to make a lot of sense. Because by the time the work on the airport starts, a lot of contractors will be there. If a lot of contractors are there, they will need a place to stay. So we are talking about like thousands of workers that will be working there. They will need a place to stay. So some of them will be their high staffs, their high hierarchy managers and engineers, though they will need a classy place to stay. So you can now provide your apartments, your bungalow there for them to rent. But right now, the rental value and rental demand is still low. Buy it to position yourself. Don't wait till when the rental demand and rental value makes sense, because at that time the price will be higher too. If the rental value right now is 600k or 700k, once the rental value enter 1.5 million or 2 million, they will not be selling the house for 20 million again. They will not be selling the house for 15 million again. So also understand that too. So, but one of the disadvantage is the rental value, the rental demand right now is low. But once work start on that airport, once the work starts getting to reasonable levels too, there will be more demand for rental houses, rental bungalows in that location, and the rental demand and the rental value will also go much higher. And by the time the airport becomes fully active, damn it, the rental value skyrockets. The second disadvantage, the second because these are pros and cons, the second cons of bungalows in Ekpe is the short-let demand is low. Now when they buy Okearu, the short-let demand right now is low. But just like the rental value and the rental demand, that is also going to change. That is also going to change. But right now, the short-let demand is very low. So the advert rates and your advert budget have to be very high because the demand is low. So you have to spend more to push that property, to push that apartment out there for people to see, so that they can say, okay, like the interiors make sense. Let me try out a night. Let me try out 3 nights, 5 nights, or 1 week there. But right now, the short-let demand is low. And then lastly, at the peak, bungalow is a waste of land. That's just the truth. Now, what I'm trying to say is this: land is like maybe 2 million, 3 million in the location, and then you build a bungalow. It makes a lot of sense. You start renting it out, or you live there, or anything. But by the time land appreciates in that location, and land there is like maybe 20 million, 25 million, you are going to realize that you just wasted that land by building a bungalow there. And unfortunately, the appreciation of a bungalow is limited, unlike a duplex. So there's a cap to what a bungalow can get to, unlike a duplex. A duplex has like almost an unlimited cap. So if you have a land and you want to build a bungalow there, it's not like you want to build a bungalow for you to stay, you want to build a bungalow to rent out. What I would advise you is build that house and deck it, don't roof it, so that in the future, as land value goes up more, you can now do another apartment or another set of units at the top, instead of you having to like demolish the house to now go higher. Hope you get it now. But if you are buying, definitely you are buying the estates. Estates have their own restriction. You buy the house, you can't demolish it to you can't demolish it to IS. You can change the interiors. The IS will not allow you to change or to put that, to carry another unit on top. So you have bought it, So but you need to understand, by the time you get to like 10 years, 15 years time, the appreciation rate won't really make sense anymore, because it's a bungalow. People look at it that 60 million for a bungalow. If I add 20 million or 25 million to it, I can get a duplex. So that's just the thing. That's just the disadvantage or the cons of a bungalow. And the Okearu bungalows, I don't know what's the current price. I don't even know, but depending, you might just go for a 300 square meter instead of just getting that bungalow, because you have more leverage when you have that land than when you have that bungalow. Alright, so these are my advices, these are my guides for you. If you are looking at it that, okay, I want to position myself in this location, eventually when the airport starts, I want to have a house around the airport, then you can just invest early right now and get a bungalow. So I see me on Mobile Property and Planning, Property Investor, Property Consultant, Rabi Mustafa. If you haven't subscribed to our videos, kindly do. If you haven't subscribed, kindly do. Have friends, people that you can also share our content with, kindly invite them, let them come, let them also subscribe to our videos. We are definitely going to appreciate it. Thanks, and see you next time.